going on, guys? Full2 here, and today I'll be bringing you a Xbox Wrestling League Season 1 USA practice highlights here at the Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas. As you can see, myself, Full2, going out onto the track to set my first flying lap of this practice 1 session. As we can see, coming to the start of my lap now, Greekmaster 99 is packing me up, trying to get some clear air in front of him, and Formula Fish 15 overtakes me, so Formula Fish 15 will be held up by Greekmaster 99 in his dirty air, as we will come to the final corner and start our first lap of this session as we come over the start finish line, and away we go. So we'll move on to the end of the first sector, where I just got a little bit over the curb and get a corner cut warning. So that's our first lap of the session gone just by a corner cut, as we will come into the pits and change our tyres and get some more fuel for our next flying lap. So we'll just drive in to the pit box and the engineers will wheel us back into the garage, and we will now go out for our second flying lap now of the session, as I come over the line and my finger comes off my controller due to greasy hands from a toasted sandwich that I had just before the session. So very unfortunate for myself, just because of my fingers being slippery. My lap has gone to the dumps and I go off there at that left-hander, and we go off at another left-hander later in the lap. So not a very good time, as we will now come to the final corner and we will see what will we be able to do. We will see as we use the rest of our curves. Coming over the line, we do a 1 minute 38.335, and giving how much mistakes we made, it wasn't that bad. Now we'll ride on board with other drivers as this session will soon conclude. And now final chicane has gone quicker than his previous time, and now Bongs and Mondays will start his time, and then we'll ride on board with Poms for the win 87 as he comes around the final corner and does not go fastest, but I think he starts a new lap as Formula Fish 15 in this session. Poms for wins teammate doesn't go quickest and stays 9th. Now his final chicane, who is second in this session at the moment, who's hit the cone, and that will be the end of his lap, as Bongs and Mondays is about to set a personal best. He's on the prime tyres. He will be able to do a 1 minute 38.369, a very decent time from Bongs and Mondays on the prime tyres, as Poms will win 87 will come to finish his lap, and he will do a 1 minute 38.437 on the option tyres, a very decent time by himself. And Formula Fish 15 in the final sector goes off at that double or triple apex, whatever it is. He goes off, and that will be the end of his lap, and Frio comes around the final corner and we'll do a 1 minute 37.9, and Greekmaster 99 in first will finish off this session with the final lap of the session with a 1 minute 36.341. So the practice 1 results were: in first, Greekmaster 99, second, final chicane, third, Frio, fourth, myself, Full2, fifth, Bongs and Mondays, sixth, Poms would win 87, seventh, Aiden's Go, eighth, Starkey 13, ninth, Formula Fish 15, and in 10th, who lagged out at the start of the session, I believe, was Drift Squid 69, who has very decent pace, nearly similar to his teammate final chicane. But that is it, that's practice 1, and we'll now move on to the second practice session. Let's go. So here we go, we're back here for practice 2 of the Xbox Racing League Season 1 USA, as we will see myself, Full2, coming out to start my first flying lap of this practice 2 session, as we will now come on to the start of our lap around the final corner and coming across the start finish line right now, as we will start our lap and open up the DRS. And now we will come to the end of the first sector, where we come into this left-hander. We turned in way too early and realise that we're going to stuff it up, and we have got a corner cut warning, and we will have to come back to the pits and get some new fresh tyres and some more fuel to now come on to our second flying lap, or our second attempt of a lap here in this session, as we come around the final corner. Use as much curves as we can as we come over the start finish line and open up the DRS and come into the first corner, and we will now at the end of the long straight, the left-hander we've locked up and gone off the track. That will lose us time. As we come into the final corner, we'll see what will we be able to do. Here we go, we're on for a 1 minute 38.194, as we will retire from the session and ride on board with other drivers with 6 minutes and 10 seconds to go, as Freo will now start his flying lap, and he has already set a 1 minute 37.7. Will he be able to go quicker than that, as Formula Fish 15 will also start his flying lap? He has previously done a 1 minute 41.785, and now we will see Poms for the win coming to the end of his lap as he pulls into the pits, and he will hit the pit wall, and that is a bit of a fail for Poms for the win 87, as Mark Weber comes around the final corner. Will he be able to set a PB? Yes, he will. He'll go fourth in the session with a 1 minute 38.8. As Freo coming into the final corner now. What will he be able to do? Will he get into the 36s? No, he won't. He'll get into the 1 minute 37.3. And now Formula Fish 15. Will he be able to improve on a 1 minute 41.7? Will we? Yes, he will, only just. But barely by anything at all. As he will come into the first corner to start a new lap, and that is Poms for win 87, who gets in his way, as Poms for win 87 tries to get out of the way but has nothing to do, and we will ride on board with him as he will come around to start his lap, as he will do that right now. Coming around the final corner, Poms for win 87 will now start his flying lap in this practice 2 session, and he has to go quicker than a 1 minute 39.661 as he comes around the final corner now. Will he be able to go quicker? We will see. Yes, he will. He goes a 1 minute 38.550 on the option tyres, a very decent time, as he will start another time. And then, will he be able to go even quicker? Yes, he will. He will do a 1 minute 38.221, and he will go third in the session, and these are the practice 2 results. So Freo is in first with a 1 minute 37.364. Myself, Full Stop 2, is second. Poms for win 87 is third. Ascending Drive is fourth. Mark Weber is fifth. Formula Fish 15 is sixth. And disconnecting once again from the session is Drift Squid 69. So that is it, and we will now move on to practice 3, the final practice session of the Xbox Racing League Season 1 USA. Let's go. Alright, so here we go. We're back here for the final practice session, practice 3 for the USA Grand Prix in the Xbox Racing League Season 1. So for this practice session, I will be reading out the quotes that the drivers have said during the week, while you can see the practice 3 highlights in the background, and you'll ride on board with me at first, and then I'll retire, and then we'll ride on board with other drivers. So firstly, this is what Ascending Drive had to say at the start of the week. He said that he's looking forward to getting back to 50%ers after a very long and tiring Abu Dhabi 100%er, and he loves the S's of Sector 1 and says that it's his favourite part of the track and he has a big passion for it, and he thinks the rest of the track is quite bland, but the last 3 or 4 corners for him, he doesn't mind. And he says that he's fixed his wheel that he uses while he is racing, so he shouldn't have any more wheel disconnects during the race, and he will be aiming for top 7 while turning off ABS and traction control. So he's hoping for a top 7 result, but he's just hoping that he can do well in the race and not make too many mistakes. So and this is what Final Chicane had to say. So he, as Ascending Drive does, loves the first sector. He thinks it's very technical, and he thinks one mistake can ruin your first sector and maybe even your lap. And about Sector 2, he says it's great with the massive straight, the big DRS straight with the speed trap at the end, that left-hander. And he thinks Sector 3 is very tough to get traction, and it's awkward on one of the corners, and will provide a lot of overtaking places throughout the GP. So a lot of drivers thinking it will be an exciting race. I've talked to some of them during the week. They think it's very exciting. And what I have to say, I think Greek Master 99 is going to run away with it. But we will see tomorrow on Sunday, the 2nd of March, who will come out on top. So I personally think Greek Master 99 will, as he spins the car around. So that's a bit of a fail from him, as Final Chicane will start his lap with 20 seconds to go in the session. So I personally love the first sector, as most people do, as you just heard. Yeah, first sector, I love it. It's very fast. You need to have very good reaction times to do well in that first sector. The third sector is very hard, and the second sector is really just that speed trap, which I have trouble on, and just a very long straight and one or two other corners in between that. So that is the end of the session, and that's all the quotes that had to be said. Not heaps, but anyway, that will conclude the 3 practice sessions of USA XRL Season 1. So these are the results. Only 5 people taking part, but that is probably because of the Clipsal V8 Supercars race that a lot of people were watching, so they couldn't make it to this practice session. So Greek Master 99 was first with a 1 minute 35.889. Top final chicane, so was in second. Myself, full top 2, was in third. Ascending drive in fourth, and to wrap up the timesheets is CR590458 with a 1 minute 38.105. So that's it, guys. That's the end of practice, and I'll see you next time on the track. Speed for Total. Goodbye.